And suddenly, a freaking noise appeared.
Oh my god, like a few days ago, one of the beings took me to a mansion again. They're always sticking me in mansions. And I was just walking around for hours and hours and hours. And like I bought the mansion for like $3,000. It wasn't even dilapidated or anything. It's like it couldn't sell, so I got it for $3,000. And I know the aliens got that from my brain from watching, you know, the YouTube videos, like abandoned mansions or abandoned, houses for sale that are like mansions, and you can get them for like 100,000 or something like that, or 40,000 or something like that. But yeah, in this scenario, I literally paid $3,000, and this freaking mansion was, oh my god, probably had like 100 bedrooms, 100 bathrooms. It was freaking huge. But anyway, I was walking around by myself and everything, because like I said, it was my mansion that I bought. But anyway, it was fun, and it was kind of funny how the alien just picked these little weird details from your brain. But I went down into at one part I was up in a bedroom, you know, like on the second or third level, and it just felt really lonely, really creepy, and I was thinking, man, I don't know if I could live in this big old house, you know, by myself or whatever. And, but I don't know what their deal is. They're always sticking me in mansions and stuff. And, towards the north of the house was, well, I don't know if it's north, but to the left of me, like if I was facing north, way down the hall was the garage, but it was like a huge garage, like probably 6-car garage. It was huge, but there was like 4 or 5 men roaming around, and they didn't, I mean, I didn't know who they were. They were just like workers or something. You know, they didn't live in the house. It was my house, it was my mansion. And, but yeah, so I knew they weren't going to be there forever, but it's like they were doing some, I don't know, some leftover work to do or something. But anyway, it was just fun. And at one point I was down in the kitchen, which seemed to be on the first floor. And it was just these super huge, wide, stainless steel refrigerators, just like 4 or 5 of them lined up. And the previous owners, they left a bunch of crap, a bunch of food and stuff in the refrigerators. And so, you know, I don't actually remember opening the doors, but I was staring in at all the stuff. And there was like these big, I mean, there was like, I was like, wow, the previous owners must have like butter. And I'm not that crazy about butter. But I'll try to eat a lot of it if I'm like all hypoglycemic and stuff, even though I don't like it. But they were in tubs, like the tubs that you buy today of ice cream. It's like they're oval, not quite half gallon, but you know, they're that paper, what do you call it? Cardboard. But it was like tubs like that, and it was like there's 4 or 5 of them in each refrigerator of butter. And butter, you know, really doesn't come like that, not that big. But anyway, it was a blast. And then there was this one slight sexual thing that the Mel of the house, he stuck it in the refrigerator, and because he was keeping it for a memento. And it was because he thought it looked like a dildo or something. And all it was like, you know, like if you were like to look on the ground, and you'll see, I don't know, like a piece of fuzz or just something, and it's possible it could look like a dildo or something like that. Well, it's like, except this, it was like this big, huge piece of like fuzz that was like 13 inches long. And it was so weird, you know, like staring at it, and I knew why he kept it, because it reminded him of a dong. But that was the only sexual thing in the scenario. But over to my right, there were 2 or 3 bathrooms. One of them seemed kind of like it needed work done to it. The other 2 were like immaculate. They were all very small bathrooms, but the kitchen was huge, and all the refrigerators. There was many, many, many refrigerators. And then I even walked off into another little area, which was like another kitchen. And then there was more refrigerators. And I noticed when I looked inside the refrigerators, I was like, wow, well, I can't, you know, eat all that stuff or drink all that stuff. I forgot what it was, but it was like cases and cases of like it was like Boost or something. But I can't remember. I knew exactly what it was when I was in the scenario, but once I woke up and everything, I had forgotten what it was. But it was like Boost or something, and I was thinking, oh man, I can't really drink that stuff, because I figured it probably had fake sugar in it, and I don't like to eat, you know, fake sugars, you know, like aspartame and stuff. But anyway, it was like a blast, but it was more like, you know, more lucid dreamy, semi-virtual reality, but it was fun, man. But a lot of times, they're always sticking me in mansions, and a lot of times, I'm always scared shitless to go down in the basement. And a lot of times, god damn it, and a lot of times I will go down there, but I'll be like scared crapless. And of course the basement will be like freaking 500 acres big. I mean, it'll be huge, huge, huge. But this time I knew the basement was probably creepy, that, you know, was on the bottom of the mansion. But I didn't go down there, not in this scenario, but I mean, it was fun. I mean, and it's like these lucid dreams that they create, which are, you know, part virtual reality, part out-of-body experience. It's all of the above. Some of them are a little better than others, but they seem to go on for hours and hours and hours, whereas like a quick virtual reality experience or out-of-body experience, complete out-of-body experience, they don't last quite as long. That's what's cool about these lucid, dreamy type of experiences. But anyway, it was fun, but this mansion was just freaking huge. And like I say, I got it for $3,000. And so basically it was given to me. And like I say, I mean, it was just normal, freaking ritzy, tip-top condition. It wasn't dilapidated or anything, except for just one small bathroom down near the kitchen. But yeah, it was fun, man. Okay, so anyway, so this experience that I'm about to talk about, okay, let me see here. I'm trying to figure out why my head hurts. Oh, maybe I laid on it too hard or something. I don't know. Weird, because I don't remember bumping it. Okay, well, anyway. Okay, so this was like, okay, October 24th, and so I was asking, like, Joel. Now, I don't know if it was Joel that gave me this experience. Could have been a different being, but I asked Joel to take me to Australia or to some island. Well, he ended up taking me to Hawaii. Kauai, Hawaii. It's kind of funny because I never even heard of that town. But then when I looked it up, because after I got up, I didn't know how to spell it. And then I found out you spelled it just like that. Kauai. But, yeah, that's where he took me to. Kauai, Hawaii. It's kind of funny because, like I said, I've never really even looked at that town before, you know. I've heard of Aloha and other towns in Hawaii. Okay, so anyway, there's some kind of disturbing stuff in this scenario. So anyway, it was me and like my sister and like 3 other women, but I can't remember who they were. It's like they were more like, they were familiar to us, but I think it's like they were more like my sister's friends. And so we were all at this guy's house, which he was it was a pretty big house. We were in, you know, Hawaii. It was daytime outside. It was sunny outside. We were sitting on the couch. And, like I said, the other 3 girls were just standing around somewhere, me and my sister. And this man that looked just like that, he was the owner of the bed and breakfast, so to speak. But it wasn't really a bed and breakfast. It was just his house that he rented out for us or whatever. But he was like a real asshole. And I know what the being was. It could have been Joel that gave me this experience. He went off of this subscriber I have because he kind of looks like this one subscriber that I have. So Joel was going off that. So he sort of like put him in my scenario. Except in real life he seems really nice, but in this experience he was like a butthole. And anyway. So we were sitting on the couch, and I remember thinking, it's like we were, you know, we had to take orders from him, so to speak. We didn't have a car or anything. He had to take us around in the van or whatever. So I remember thinking, you know, okay, I'm all hypoglycemic. When am I going to be able to, you know, get to eat again? And I was sitting there eating like a soft, little bits and pieces off of a soft sugar cookie. And I remember thinking, you know, I can't go like another 4 or 5 hours without eating, because I didn't know when he was going to take us to town to go eat or whatever. Okay, so anyway, this was the owner, basically, of the big house we were staying at in Hawaii. Kauai, Hawaii. And like I said, he kind of does look like one of my subscribers. Well, he's Hawaiian. And, okay, so anyway, so finally he took us to town, and what was I gonna say? Okay, yeah, he finally took us to town, and so there was a scene where I was like standing there. I can't remember if he was standing around the guy that was, you know, that we rented the house from. I don't know where he was, but I was standing there, and oh, no, I remember now. Okay, so anyway, so finally he took us to town, and I was like standing there, my sister was standing there out on a sidewalk. Now, I'm not sure where we were at exactly, but like I said, we were still in Hawaii, and Hawaii, it felt like Hawaii. It was really weird, because I've never been to Hawaii, but they just have this weird ability to do stuff like that in my scenarios. Okay, oh yeah. At first I was thinking it was a different guy. It wasn't a different guy. It was there was a brawl between my sister and, you know, the host, the bed and breakfast host. Yeah, there may have been some other people standing around, I don't remember. But so I was standing there, and he pushes, like I said, he was like a real butthole. And he pushed her to the ground, and it was kind of violent. He pushed her to the ground, and I saw some blood. And the bra was about a cell phone, or the iPhone, Android phone or whatever. My sister was teasing him with the phone. Like, I don't know what she was doing exactly, but somehow it pissed him off. And so he pushed her to the ground. And then that's when I started getting all mad and was like getting all up in his face and pushing his ass. And I'm sure I said some things, but I can't remember what I said. But he never did fight back. And yeah, and it was the actual host. I just, like I said, it's been a week, so I kind of forgot. But yeah, it was the actual host that she had a brawl with. And it was because, I don't know, somehow she was teasing him with her phone. I guess maybe he wanted to see it or something, and she wouldn't let him. Okay, so anyway, so then after that brawl, we finally went to like the market, so to speak. We went to the market, and I saw a van, and I was overlooking, like we were in a van or whatever, but I saw a van go by, and I saw mostly women in the van, but they were speaking, they had an Australian, they were all white people, they were all Australian, and they were speaking Australian, with Australian accent. And so basically it's kind of funny, because the alien, Joel or whatever, he kind of took me to both, so to speak. Because at that time, I remember in the scenario, I was kind of like, okay, am I in Australia now, or am I still in Hawaii? So anyway, he did a little bit of both. Okay, so anyway, so then we went, after I saw that, the van, and I noticed all these, it was mostly women speaking an Australian accent, we went to the marketplace, you know, where people sell vegetables and fruits and stuff. And then, well, this part is kind of disturbing, but anyway, so, but you know, the alien, they like to mock, and over a year ago, for the first time I did see like Eyes Wide Shut, and you know how that father, he kind of pimps out his daughter? Not really in a bad way, but I mean, it just, those Chinese people were like just kind of watching her stand around, kind of semi-naked and shit. I mean, I don't really think they were having sex with her, but, you know, it was just like a rated R movie or whatever, but he was kind of pimping her out, so to speak. And so the aliens like to mock that because they know what humans do and stuff. But then, of course, when I have an experience like that in my scenario, I'm thinking, okay, is alien being, you know, a dickhead, or is he just mocking? So it could be a little bit of both. But, so anyway, yeah, so anyway, the part where the host, the Hawaiian host, shoved my sister, you know, that kind of pissed me off. And like I said, I got it all up in his face, pushing him and stuff. But he made me, you know, mad. I was mad. The alien did, and the host or whatever. But he never did fight back. And so anyway, so once we went to the market store, and there's probably a few bits and pieces here that are kind of irrelevant, that I'm kind of forgetting, but because I remember walking around the house, I remember standing near the bathroom because I was trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to take a shower, where's the towels and stuff like that, but those are irrelevant little details. Okay, so anyway, so we went to the market store right after I saw the van and all the women speaking an Australian accent. We went to the market store, and there's a lot of people, like vendors and stuff, selling stuff. And then I saw like the father, well, he could have even been a grandfather, Chinese guy of a little girl, and she was only about like 7. And 7 or 8, you know, I would say about 7. And so she was like, and then she, you know, she started looking at me like all provocatively, and like I said, I was just overlooking the situation. And I noticed a bunch of men, like white men or whatever, you know, staring at it. It's like he was the Chinese, and the Chinese guy was standing over to my right. He was the father or the grandfather, and he was pimping her out, so to speak. Not in a bad way, but the little girl, she didn't really look happy, and I saw her, you know, it's like she was putting on a show for these guys, not for me, because I didn't pay any money or anything, but these guys would pay like $1 to see that. And I looked over to my right, and there was a box full of dollar bills, a little box, and it was all full of $1 bills. And like I say, the little girl, the aliens have this way of making them so, you know, look so provocatively and everything. So the little girl was looking at me, and she was basically like touching herself in a sexual way, and these guys were paying $1 bills to see that. And I was just like, you know, wow, you know. But that was kind of disturbing.